Day 3 of the 56th BFI London Film Festival played host to Beyond the Hill, the Journey Gala, in association with Sight and Sound. This deeply touching love story sees a young girl choosing between her heart and her faith.
I think it's challenging to see and to understand that this is a story which is very local but speaks in a very global way about, some values that we share today in society. And it's a wonderful performance from the actors. They were awarded in Cannes for this jointly award for both the actors which are in the film. So I think it's plenty of things for them to see in the film.
In official competition, Law follows a teenager navigating a dangerous path in post-war Germany.
The perspective of the story I'd never seen before. I'd never seen a story about the children of perpetrators told on such an intimate level and without judgment.
It's not just history, it's still a part of our country and our lives. And it's important to look at what happened to understand what's now going on.
I read the manuscript prior to the book being published, The Dark Room by Rachel Seifert, and I was just really very moved by it, and I felt I could see it as a great film.
It was 12 years in development, so it's an amazing achievement that it's happened, and it's such a beautiful film as well, so I'm very pleased.
Documentary competition contender The Summit tells the true story of a fateful attempt to scale K2, an attempt that claimed 11 lives and affected countless more.
As a non-climber, I want to understand what would possess people to put themselves at such risk, put themselves in the line of fire so much, and especially when I learned the odds, what climbing K2 was, 1 in 4 of successfully, climbing and descending the mountain alive. So, and once we started the investigation process, the story started to unfold and nothing was as it seemed.
First feature competition nominee, Beasts of the Southern Wild, delivers a bold look at a young girl's relationship with her father and their alternative lifestyle in the Southern Delta.
One day, the storm's gonna blow, the ground's gonna sink, and the water's gonna rise up so high, there ain't gonna be no bathtub, just a whole bunch of water.
We had a sort of myth and idea, but it was when we found this region and these towns that exist right at the edge of the road before it turns into water, that the film really started to come alive. Nature really became a character in the film, and the culture that kind of springs out of a place that needs to hold on to its land in order for the culture to survive played a huge part in just inspiring the characters and the whole narrative.
For someone who hasn't met Hush Puppy, how would you describe her?
She's a person who follows her father's steps, and she goes with her father, and she goes how her father went through his life and just kept following and going, and even whenever he was sick, she would keep going and never stop.
The Sonic Strand played host to a special discussion with contributors to Icelandic band Sigur Rós's Valatari Mystery Film Experiment.
Trying to avoid sort of asking everybody the same question in turn, but how many, did you all have a sort of prior feeling for Sigur Rós's music? Did you who here has worked, Claire, you've worked with them before?
Yeah, I worked with them in 2007 for a project that the ICA did in Trafalgar Square, where they put 10 artists or filmmakers with bands and musicians, and I did a project called iGear with them, which was a 360-degree screening, and also I've kind of been to Iceland quite a few times and sort of have a feeling, I suppose, for the place as well as the music, so yeah, there was a connection from the beginning.
This year, we go behind the scenes and speak to some of the people who bring the BFI London Film Festival to you.
My name's Helen DeWitt and I'm the festival producer. My role is to put together the bits of the festival, everything that's required to make the festival happen. So for instance, I try to support our sponsorship team when they're raising the money. I try to support the marketing team and feed information to them as they put the marketing materials together. But most of all, I deal with the infrastructure and the logistics. What we really like to see at the end of the festival, or the most rewarding thing about the festival, is a lot of very happy filmmakers and a lot of delighted audiences about the films that we've been able to show them.